Oh shit. Yeah, so I just seen Valuetainment, PBD podcast. I forget their names. Patrick. Yeah, what the fuck? Patrick. He's the dude. So good on him for sharing this information and talking about the white envelope. I did not expect that. Um, and I'm not gonna, what I'm gonna always share is gonna sound like I know something, but the only reason I'm sharing it like that is because I don't know. I suppose if you're in the information highway enough and have like a level of I suppose if you're in the whole information world and you've just been looking at things in a certain way for so long with, I guess, no angle, things find you. And so I won't sit here and be like, yeah, this is how it is. I know this, but if you've looked at enough information, you know how to, I don't know, put it together. So back in the wild YouTube days before we were fucking censored and shadow banned and this and that, he had a lot of videos flying around. And so, yeah, I'm trying. Sorry, I'm bringing up all the files right now. I'm just so shocked that this was like a thing on, yeah, Patrick's show. But I gotta just give it to him, man. I would love to shake his hand one day. Like doing, he's doing the work, man. He's doing the work, and bravo. So, if somehow someone is watching this video from that comment from that video, then this is just I'm just kind of explaining what my approach, or like how I got this information. It's from the Wild West back in the day, and that when Senior died, it wasn't even that long, so it wasn't that wild at that moment on YouTube, but it certainly the landscape's changed in even the last 5 years. When did Senior die? I almost want to say it was 5 years ago. I should just look it up, but um, so yeah, I'm gonna make this short. I totally just saw a video on the internet, um, but these videos kept on getting shadow banned, and the more I would look into the subject, like it's like, dude, these accounts would just drop too. I'm wish I was like exaggerating, but I can remember one channel. It was called the Black Prophecy. I'm pretty sure I got that right. If someone finds that channel, some people are blessed. I don't know what it is. It's not like some people back in the wild west days of YouTube. I'm pretty sure you're aware. So, like 6 degrees of separation. So, like, let's say I won't claim anything personal. I'm not gonna, give my background on who. Okay, I got it. Harry's backing me up here. Um, I got lucky in my early days of being next to someone that was in the military, and it I won't even name what branch. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. Point being is some of us are privy to privileged information, and I believe when you're in that crowd, you First of all, you already have a sixth sense about bullshit, basically. Who's doing this for entertainment? Who's I wouldn't say trolling was really I mean, trolling was a thing, obviously, when this era was happening, the super wild, wild west day. This is like I call those days like the pre it's still that's still the white envelope is still post Wild Wild West. You didn't have too much shadow banning going on. But these accounts are all now gone. These people are probably I don't know, probably mm, who knows? Who knows? Honestly, I think a lot of these people that get into that sort of thing and do videos like I'm doing right now end up finding out like how miserable their life becomes, and you cut out of it. Um, so that was a long way to go around saying nothing, I suppose, and giving you no gratification for what I said. But I'm not doing that intentionally. I'm actually just giving you the full backdrop on what it takes to know things in an unknowable research category. You'll never know what that note said. You'll never know. But you can intuit and you can put things together. And there's things that, like I mentioned, like if you look at I'm laughing because like Pence's wife, for instance, I believe Biden's wasn't Biden there? Was he there? But you'll notice, like, when this envelope gets passed out, it's the women passing it to the men. What's that about? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone's put that together. Have you put that together? I mean, and the thing is if you are in this sort of like realm, there's commonalities that you can just put together. And so if for instance, you're in the know and you know that you're seeing a tell. Like a tell, for instance, would be for this instance would be the women getting the envelope and then showing them in. Without giving away too much information, I'm telling you the clue here. The women show them in, and I put the comment on Patrick's page with all those details as to what or why that would be. I think I alluded to that at least. And I'm not spelling it out because I think it's important for me not to transcribe it for you or not to just completely and it seems wrong for me to do that like as if I'm like holding information. But there's a science or an art to information and allowing people to do their own research and put their own answers together. And I find it very responsible to not just be telling people answers. However, I did say that comment and I am backing it up right now. And I'm doing my best to help you make up your own answer without just me saying something and being like, yeah, I know what it's. Listen, I saw a video. I'm in with whatever kind of um, whatever kind of research category. I won't even say like I'm in with a group of people, but I'm just saying like, yeah, the white envelope. Okay, let's go back into. I'll break down the body language on it. Let me stick to my. All right, so like I said, the women, and if I recall right, doesn't Trump show up late to that, and doesn't he leave early? Now, I'm sorry, that was a funeral of a dead president. That in itself, see these guys. If you know, you know. Like these guys speak without saying anything because everything they do is under a microscope. And the thing is when you're using the language of Hegelian dialectic or dialectica or whatever it is, what you're not saying is what you're saying. And what you say is what you're not saying. in some cases, and that can be reversed. That could be it's it's all how in the know you are. And again, this is going to seem like I'm like trying to put myself. I'm not claiming or saying I am anything. I wouldn't do that. But um, what I am claiming is something a little different. It's just that I'm trying to give you the same things that I know, which or the same level of intuition that you can also use or get to yourself in this search of figuring out what's not possible to figure out. And it's getting tougher too because AI is not going to make this search any easier. These fake things and all that. Sorry, I'm not naked messing with this. I'm just fucking fiddling with my fucking string here. Sorry. It's my like what first or second live? I don't know. I haven't been on live since Facebook Live or MySpace Live. I don't remember what it was. Oh, well, whenever MySpace was around. This is how long I've been into the I don't put labels to it. I will always say something and allude to something, but I don't actually finish my sentences half the time just because I don't have to say anything. And I think you know what I'm saying if you know what I'm saying. And so back to the white envelope. The white envelope is I'm gonna sit here and say this as if I know this. Like, oh, it said they know everything. I'm sorry, George Bush. And the reason I can support that claim that that is what is in that envelope is just because of I had like I don't want to get into my whole story or any of that, but basically I'm behold a pale horse in middle school. Phil Cooper or sorry, Phil Schneider in middle school. It's complete luck that this information finds me half the time. It really is. Um, or you could say something else. You could say that there's a significant portion of us out here that are just um, sorry I get caught up on words. I really like to be correct in my words because it is when you're on a public platform like this, it's important almost not to bind yourself into certain words, but I would say that I am I am blessed with information and being able to well, again, like I said, it's not anything I did. This information just finds you sometimes. And depending on possibly who is in your family or not even necessarily that, I guess proximity is really a portion of it. Or maybe even like potential, I suppose. I don't know. But I will say that I've had information find me my entire life. I've had weird experiences when I was in early life where someone showed me something that years later it would be perplexing to me, and it was obviously like this guy who I was blessed to be next to showed me some websites and some things that are on there, and there's tabs or information on all sorts of things, and they've been doing that for quite some time. And why this person showed me that at fifth grade, I'll probably never know. Well, I mean, I mean, obviously, I'm telling you now. I know why, because we all have our own calling and path to do various things with information or our calling. And too much word salad, too much bullshit. Let's just get into it. The white envelope, they know everything. I'm sorry. Um, and if you break down the body language, if you want to go down that road, that's a good start. And again, like I said, the biggest clue is I wouldn't. Yeah, the big clue is the women showing the men, and then you notice like, wait a minute, like what, what? How? mean, my brain's going off right now. I want to share so many things like having to do with that clip, like, and it's not like I'm like withholding information. It's just that I don't like putting it out there and speaking on it. Like I know something. Like it's just nice. It's nice to do that. But I am making this video, so here they know everything. I'm sorry, George Bush. And when you break that video down, I've said that Trump arrives late, leaves early. I believe that's what the case was. I'm sorry if I get these things wrong. It's been a while since I've fired some of this information off. So pleased when Patrick put that up there. My soul just kind of like, it was like, what? We're doing work now? It's like I'm going to use a term now until I get to know my audience. Like I'm going to be very like cautious about my words, but like that when I saw that, I said, man, white magic does exist. And when I mean by white magic, it's not a skin color or anything like that. I'm talking about white magic, not black magic. I'm talking about there are forces here on this planet. I'm sure everyone knows. Surely we got to accept that we're just not alone in the planet in the call it universe, call it heavens. I leave that term up to you. We're just not alone, and perhaps, and you know what's funny is Tucker Carlson. Y'all remember whenever and I'm gonna bring it up right now. I wish I knew how to operate these computers better. Tucker Carlson. This was like a Patrick moment for me where Tucker Carlson, and then 6 months later, he's gone. Tucker Carlson puts this this video on the TV talking about off-world vehicles. Dude, there's certain things that you keep in your heart or your mind if you're in this search or this hunt, and you just know that it's game time when you see certain things. And whenever Tucker did that, I started praying for that dude immediately because I knew something was going on. He must have been bucking the system and then what's funny is the Pentagon, I guess, is releasing this information anyways. But I said, I don't know, something's odd about this whole Tucker Carlson thing, mentioning the off-world vehicles. You can just go type that on YouTube, Tucker Carlson off-world vehicles, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And I think you could even put in Pentagon afterwards. But let's see here. So going back to the white envelope off-world. So there are like other, again, I don't like to tell people things. I don't like to impose wills, but so you'll notice like I'm not in a battle right now, but I'm just figuring out my words and how to direct myself to an audience. And it's not about being cautious or afraid. It's just using the right words. There's life and death on your tongue, and I don't. What's that, Proverbs? Anyways, so yeah, so given the information I've already mentioned, which probably to you right now is probably extremely annoying listening to me and being like, man, this dude hasn't said anything. Keeps on going around, but I'll wrap it up. I'll wrap us in. I'll give you all the goods at the end. Like I'll just completely spell it out in a way that would be gratifying for going from that comment to here. Because I already went on what 17 minutes. I'm at 19 minutes. So if you look at the women, they hand the letter to the men. Now, let me get all my points together. I see that's another thing. I got to recall all this information because I seriously doubt you'll find videos out there on this anymore. I just doubt it. Because these are shadow banned accounts, or you got to know what to type. And I don't have that YouTube account anymore. I just don't. Those are Lost in the wind. But what I was getting at is that they know everything. I'm sorry. Let's go to Jeb and the other lady. I forget her name right now. Is it? It's not Barbara. It's Is it Barbara? Susan? Sally? One of them names. But Jeb gets shown by again the woman. The women handle things. If you'll notice, if there was a if all these people had their back, you might think like, oh well, no, that's what you do in the relationship. The women, but dude, what if like the powers that be? What if there was a connection between? What if these people really all did have their back, something like that? And you see the women. Yeah, what's with that? What's with the women showing the men thing? Why didn't they get the letter? Who gave the women the letter? Why is the women getting the letter and showing it to the men? Do they screen things normally? Is that what their job is to do? Or are they the ones that are um I have a whole point I could go off on that I was gonna go on, but I don't think I'm gonna go on that point, so I apologize. But you can figure out probably maybe what I'm saying, maybe if you wanted, with that. But to get back, I'd like to just focus and get this part over with where Jeb is the obvious dude. Jeb is not the poker player in this case. You know that, and that's why he never got anywhere with what's in the family businesses, which is you got to be a good poker player. You have to be. And I couldn't say why I know that. I just know it. I'm sure anyone knows that. It's not hard to put together. But these families and these family businesses, when these alliances or whatever, they got each other's backs, and there's a certain structure, there's a certain probably methodology that's been passed along, or it's a tradition. So the women handle the messy stuff, if you will, the powerful stuff sometimes for the men. Um, and if you look at Jeb and his his face, like it's just she shouldn't have never shown him that if she didn't. If they didn't want folks like you to figure it out, like what's going on there. So, damn, I suck at this. I'll get better. I promise. So yeah. So if you look at Jeb, he's the guy that gives the poker cards away. Aside from the women showing them in immediately, I left that part out, didn't I? They didn't need to show him that no one needed to show that envelope to the men at that moment, but they did. And interestingly enough, that envelope showed up at that moment. And if you're getting an envelope, if you're reading an envelope to you and you're reacting, not a good thing. Not a good thing. Power structure. And that's not like something else. That's nothing I have to spell out either, I don't think. I would have to if I was on like Patrick's show, I'd be a lot more probably. That's not what I'm going for. I'm not saying that, but I probably would be a little bit more wordy. But anyways, so Jeb gives the tell, and I want you to notice that camera angle, how possibly convenient it is, framing everyone, like not even like framing them like, dude, all 3 of them are in the same shot as they get the letter. It's almost like I don't know. It's almost like it's like a ritual or something. Like it's like a hit or like a it's almost like, I don't know. So, here's what I'll get at. If you look into Pence and Trump and the power structure at the time, there was some I don't think you'd call it backstabbing. I guess, yeah. Replacing? I mean, I don't know. There was some, hey, hey, boy, Pence got real, when did he make that change, by the way? Does anyone remember that? Like, can you all call me on this? Didn't Pence make some didn't he suddenly get religious or like suddenly there was a change in him? I'm sorry, again, I don't my book, it is titled Prophets of Modern Chemistry, a tactical field guide to the information age. And I wish I would have actually wrote it. That would have been nice, right? I would probably actually, but this information, you just, uh, it's not exactly fun information when you have dived in it so much, and then you start to really find a way to wiggle through these rabbit holes, or just the fact that you might, for lack of a better word, be ordained in information and you just get sent things, if you will. That sounds crazy. I'm sure I know that it sounds crazy, but um it is kind of like that, isn't it? Like in this world where the truth just sort of reveals itself to you. And so yeah. So again, we got that shot right perfectly framed with like the whole 3 and I want to smile big right now because I to me I kinda wanna talk to George W. Right now, like, Junior, because I would love to shake his hand. That's crazy to say, I'm sure, 'cause I think if you knew me, you might understand that what my stance is for disagreeing with a lot of the things that have been done by some families and truths and all that, but, um, I do have certain values and certain even, like, for instance, okay, so, like, I read something recently where I think it was I wanna say in my head it was Jesus, and he would be at these places where you wouldn't expect him to be, like, let's say I'm making this up, let's say, like, Jesus was at a Diddy party, like, for instance. He could still go there, and I'm sorry, that's a crazy but Jesus could still be at the and be doing the Lord's work, you understand what I'm saying? So, that sounds like a really odd statement, but and I'm not I should support it with something else, but I won't even do that. All I'm saying is I'd love to shake George's hand because in that moment where you witness the Bush lady, I forget her name right now, show Jeb, listen, Junior's aware. Why didn't anyone show why didn't anyone show Junior? What's up with that? They didn't give him the letter. And Jeb is looking at who? In disgust or awe. Where's he looking at? He doesn't know where to look. Maybe I should react to mom. And he just looks forward, I believe. I believe that's what happens. Now, I want to know. I want you to know. I believe you know. All these presidencies, some of the coordination here is unreal. You have to be smart to be a president. It's probably smart to play dumb, I would imagine. So what I'm saying is if you notice, I would bet that George seems to be pretty aware that that envelope is happening right behind him. I'd almost be willing to bet that maybe he talked to that cameraman, made sure that this moment is being communicated to us as I sit here and speak to you about it in this way that you may not. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's speaking about it out there like this or was. So here we go. So George, this is why I would like to shake his hand. You see how I weave? I weave. I'm a weaver. George has this face, and his body language is amazing. I mean, I'm proud of this. It's like I really felt his energy when I had first been putting this together, because I wouldn't say I'm a body language speaker. I don't like break down everything like some of these folks do, because it can get kind of crazy when you're like really dissecting like body language and like, oh, what did he say there? And like, can you read his lips? And you start looking into stuff like really crazy, like I've witnessed with other people in this information field that share similar positions as you and I get kind of nitpicky and get a little lost in the sauce, I suppose you could say, with the level of details that they claim to know about. Well, this meant that, and that meant, and though it's often true and it's often not true. Sorry about that little random point that probably didn't make a point, but just wanted to say like that stance and that body position, man, that you could tell like that was a position of pride. His head is up in the air as his dad is being walked in a casket past him. This is not, and that's another thing. That's a great point. So, yeah, we could easily just, I'll try to play a little quantum with this. We could easily just say that, oh, well, his face was held up high because his dad was going by. He's proud, but again, I would like to iterate to some people that believe that most people know in politics there just aren't a lot of accidents, and there's a ton of coordination. There's coordination with coordination, and then so being on your toes is, man, I can only imagine. I could just only imagine. I could really only imagine being in the intelligence communities, like growing up in that. I can only imagine. So back to his body language and his face. This is my interpretation for you, is that He seems to be holding his head up, and he even seems to nod like he's like, there's a bit of a smile and with a frown, which is, like, such a just maybe I'm going too minute with the details on all of it, but I think you'll find that with coordination, there's probably not enough dissecting that we could do. Well, there's definitely not. There's definitely not. So, I guess wrapping it up, maybe, possibly, I'm just giving you the answers possible that I can give you to give you the answer that I have without telling you the answer straight up because it's important to not. I couldn't explain it to you. I don't know how to explain that yet, but I guess I will or I won't. I don't know. But point being, it's in my opinion to you that the dude's face got a. It looks like that guy from. He looks like Judge Dredd. Like he's got that frown smile. It's like a crazy, and you can almost see his face nod a little bit. I want to give some other things about the white envelope that would be. So what does that mean? They know everything. I'll share this. What's George Bush doing in Texas after his presidency? Painting. You know how you see the Bill Clinton Foundation and you'll see like Bill Clinton like pretty much everywhere, or Hillary like pretty much everywhere. Obama, he's been a little silent, huh? What do presidents do when they're done being presidents? Do they stop being president? Like, or do they usually have like do they just chill afterwards? But they seem to have some sort of dedication to some public appearances. George Bush is painting in Texas. I just thought that was hey, and he's got some the paintings are dude, listen. I got so much respect for him, man. Like now. And not that I got respect for everybody, but am I butchering this? Um, this is good. This is good juice. This is good juice. It's actually awful. I'm not gonna lie. It tastes awful. It's cucumber, celery, grapefruit, green chard, and lettuce paired with lemon and kale and spinach and parsley. Oh boy. Oh wow. That's a and it's 99% juice. Organic, vegan. No, no. Just that's the thing today. You want to buy the thing with all the no's on it. As many no's as possible. Non-GMO. High pressure certified. USDA organic. Wait, what's the FDA on here? We got an FDA print label or what? Oh, and we got mint tea in there too. Well, okay. All right, back to our topic. So, you know, what does that mean, man? What's he doing out in the spotlight? That's not unnormal, but they know everything. And then a proud smirk as his father gets passes him. We should do a breakdown of this video. I feel like I could have more memories come up, more because I don't know what skill it is that I may or may not be presenting right now in this little talk of being able to break down these videos of it's not body language. I promise you it's a little bit more than that. It's knowing positions of power and movement. So yeah. Um do you think George was Senior seemed like kind of a bully to me. And then, was it Sally Bush? She seemed kinda I don't know if a lot of people would put this together like this, but Sally seems pretty harsh for some reason. I bet you there's no signs that would say that. In fact, I would bet that there's signs that showed that she was a soft person in public. But and I could be wrong about that, but if I recall right, like, I don't know, like, she's but that's a I'm trying not to disrespect anyone here. That's a burly lady. Families have traditions, they have things to protect, they have history, they have motives with years of lineage of this or that. And put yourself in that position being a kid. What choice do you have in that? We probably got to our best part right there. What choice do you have as a kid in that part? Mm, 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 mm. So, let me see if I can do an impression. I'm gonna try to do it right here. Um, no, no, I can't even do the dread frown. How do you smile and frown at the same time? So, how you do that? I don't know, but he did it. And man, his body language, like, dang, dude, his stance was just sturdy, dude. Like, head up in there. Sure, maybe he was calling on his how proud he was of his dad. I believe when he choked up in his speech, if you want to go back and watch his speech, which by the way, since when does the post office shut down? Man, I've given if if you let's say if I was releasing some information right now that someone didn't want you to know, like if I had information right now, dangerous information, and you looked at this tape right here that I just gave you, and you looked at the various clues, like the last one that I just gave. The post office, man. When did the post office that closed for his funeral? The day that uh, the post office closed? What's that about? Oh, it's nothing. He contributed to the the thing, with the post office. No, I don't know if y'all know that, but senior definitely contributed. Uh, fuck. I'm sorry. I should look the fact up, but I'm not. I'm not. I might have left that for you to go find. And I don't like being this guy where I give clues, and I don't do this because it's like a thing that I'm trying to do for entertainment or I'm not trying to like protect myself or anything. I would say that I have a methodology that's kept me getting the information I know, I guess you could say. So I'm preserving my own methodology, if you will. And I apologize if it seems like I'm being annoying because I really promise you I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper of information. And I'm definitely not trying to be a mongerer of any sort of energies to you. I just would love for you to get to the same place that that I got lucky to be selected to whatever, man, whatever. I don't and it sounds like again, it sounds like I'm trying to make myself special or come across a certain way, but I'm just not. And I bet you this is annoying me talking about myself the whole time, but I think it's important if you're talking about something like this and you're not talking about something important. It's it's key for me. Like so. Anyways, let me end it off on something here. So basically, you got Jeb, the other girl, forget her name, Barbara or Sally, one of them. They don't show that letter to George, do they? Hmm. Um, they know everything. I'm sorry, George Bush. Wonder what that means. They know everything. Wonder what was happening at the time. Who's they? And what's everything? Not to Jordan Peterson us right now. Yeah, we'd have to go back in that time, wouldn't we? They know everything. Man, Pence was doing some funny stuff. Um, what else were some things that I can Hey, that was funny seeing Trump sit next to Obama, if I remember. What was that 2016? I think it was. You'd think I'd just type that dang thing in, and you think I remember all this stuff, but I think I'm showing you some very hey, I don't think any of these points that I think I'm pointing out is landing. These are it's important to be not caught up on. Again, I'm not even gonna say anything again. I'm gonna be annoying on that one. I'm gonna be annoying on that one. Let's see who really freaks out. Biden's wife, doesn't she act kind of weird? Let's just watch it. Oh my shit. Let me just watch it.
I don't know if you see this or not. Maybe you can lower the audio a little bit, Rob.
Yeah.
Increase it a little bit. This went viral. Everybody got an envelope. President Carter, that's Hillary, Bill. Jeb gets the same envelope. Mom shows it to him. Look at Jeb's reaction and her reaction.
Oh, she kind of looks over at him and gleams at him, and look at that face, boy. Ooh, she's giving it away right there. She's looking over at what's her name? Talking to what's her name?
Refresh my memory. Is this at John McCain's funeral? Whose funeral?
George H. Senior. Senior's funeral.
Okay.
Man, they look dark, bro. I don't know.
What is this envelope? Do you know anything about
I have
it?
no idea. I have no idea.
I think it says they know everything. I'm sorry. That's what I think. I'm just telling you just what I think. That's all. I'm just telling you what I think. Mm, and then you got George Bush painting in Texas, out of the light. I haven't seen him in a while. We haven't seen him in a while. Where's he at? Like, what's going on? What's up with that? Like, he's not been in. He did say that one line recently. Did y'all hear that? That was such a. Ooh, ooh! I just put something together just now. That slip up that he had recently. Now, I would like to do this. I want to know if anyone wants to do this with me. Since his funeral, since Senior's funeral, what appearances has George had? Junior had, publicly speaking. I'm sure there's been a bunch of small ones. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about national, like ones that matter, like that ones like that are televised. On a in a big way. There's a recent speech that he gave and he slipped up, right? Y'all remember that? That was a funny slip up, right? Like where he said like well, this one I gotta look up. I gotta look up this one, y'all. George, I bet you I can just type in George Bush slip up.
In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. Iraq. Anyway, 75.
No, it's really not funny, is it? You'd think I had a revelation a minute ago and just lost it, but I didn't. It's so annoying when you know things. These guys would go around and talk about and really try to like kind of figure it out, but I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to talk about it, like just not because I'm scared to give anything away. It's more it's just there's so much more than I'm able to say right now at a public level. Like not because I sound so stupid right now. That's crazy. What am I saying? I'm saying well, again, like I said, I don't know anything. This is just like conjecture, really. But I am kind of sharing, like, there are some things that you can easily put together with this white envelope thing. And Trump, Obama, Pence, they know everything. I'm sorry. Why would he tell him that? What's up with that? Why would he tell him that? Did someone get to him? Is he like what's the word? Repenting? Is he did he align with somebody? Like an off-world person? Being? It's like a horror. This episode's like a horrible science fiction horror show. Not saying anything, but I think I'm saying something. They know everything. What would give him the confidence to send out a letter like that to every single powerful person? Who could he have possibly aligned with? Was it him? Oh yeah, I'm good at this quantum stuff. That's why I'm not saying because if I speak in concrete, there's things later. So for instance, an important part about like these kind of things when you're getting into these things and not you can't ever know something, I guess you could say. You never really know because supposedly there's no real way of knowing or proving it. But let's say that he did align with something or let's say a friend of mine had a crazy angle on this. She said that she said no, she said yeah, George was killed or replaced, I think. And was replaced. So that wasn't him. I don't know I don't mind that theory, but I just think it was him. And let's say it was a replacement and they still played that whole script in front of us. They know everything. I hear he's telling me to shut up this whole time. You and me shut up. All right. I guess that's it. I'll just leave it on that. I wonder if I went for an hour. I wanted to go for 61 minutes on this. That was my goal. I guess I'll wrap for like 3 more minutes. Crazy cat. Here you see the memo? You say meow meow? Can you say meow meow? You meow meow me. Off world. Y'all think there's like a power structure on this planet? Like y'all think there's like a spiritual war or anything like that going on here? And if so, like who is the spiritual war? What does it consist of? Like would it consist of like demons, the devil, the jinn? What would the battle be for on the planet? Like what's going on here? Like what's been going on? What's been happening for centuries? How did it like get to be this way? Like why is democracy so fair for the world? What has been the drive? And who is seemingly winning at this moment? Because I think we're all saying the world is bad. I think we all agree with that, right? And all right, well, who's losing and who's winning? Why are they winning or losing? what are the contributing factors that keep this power in place to do such coordinations with nations? And which ones are doing what? What happens when they do whatever they do? It's got to be so annoying. I don't do it like this intentionally. I'm not trying to tease anybody. I am just here to think out loud. It may seem like I know something, but I don't. Or hey, Harry's that's my handler over there. You little beautiful boy. Let's see here, man. So yeah, like, and so again, I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be cool or sound like I got some information and you don't have it, and I'm not like protecting myself. I'm not claiming anything. I am simply just here to help anybody think and give them some clues on how to think on certain things. Not like I know something or anything like that. But there are clues that the universe or God or your guy will surely put you on, and depending on your lifestyle and what you've paid attention to. Those things can be enhanced or heightened if you are praying or pure or honest or seeking, or is it? Oh, we got a minute too. Dang, I wanted to do. Well, now I got to do a minute. Fine, I'll do a minute. I'll do an hour and 6 minutes just to make it 6-1. So we'll go 4 more minutes. Let's see. What else? Oh, so like the spiritual war and like the powers that be, and then who's here, who's not here. I said something about like off-world, Texas painting. Wait a minute. I mean, Texas and painting with George Bush. But really, I'm saying they know everything. What does that mean? Why would he suddenly get this confidence to put out a letter that says they know everything? I'm sorry. And why doesn't anyone know what this letter says? Even if I think a lot of people know that, like, for instance, you got the Kamala thing. Like, these guys, like, they use the Hegelian dialectic to, like, as a master form. The one that, kitty, the one that, the one that makes the mess, cleans the mess. I'll present a problem and I'll have the solution. That was what I believe we just saw with that epic day of senior passing and the post office closing. Why did the post office close? It was because George Bush Sr. did this for the post office. Or, federally, it's crazy about the post office. It's one of our most protected. People don't recognize this, but your mail is very well protected. Like, no one can go into your mail. That's a federal law. That's such a. Do we know how important or special that is? It's like almost like voting, like how well your mail is protected. what else was going on around that time? Pence, like, dude, Pence made some weird moves. I'll have to look those up, get back into that. Pence made some weird moves. Mike Pence made some weird moves, some weird statements on some websites or something at the time. He like switched sides or something. And then that would lead him up to do the main one that he did to Trump. But like, dude, like totally, for lack of a better word, just seemed like, I don't know. I think he saw the white light, you know? I think he boy, that his wife was bugging though. She also, like, of all the ones that showed their hand, I mean, Michelle Michael, she didn't budge. Obama, they didn't budge. You ain't catching them slipping. They're stone cold. They got that. Can't touch me. These guys. That's the weakest moment I've ever seen them, Bo. I think they knew something was going on, and that stare, man, that no talk after showing that letter, that silence. That's such a vulnerable moment, by the way, to send out a letter. And like we said at the beginning, like envelopes, when you receive an envelope and you got all the powers shifting around, showing that envelope, like that's some real movement. That's some real motion. What do you think happened to Pence? Who got to him? Why? Why did Bush switch? Why did he get that confidence to be like, they know everything? I'm sorry. That's really the questions we got to be asking. My statement on it is, I think there's some sort of force on this planet that there's two, obviously. There's a good and a bad one, I guess you could say, or a few good and bads. Probably a few in the middle, I would imagine, messing things up. And so you got to play this cautious, tricky tale, because time and I don't even think you got to be that cautious. I think it just has to be what it is. But I believe that there's probably like some, call them like wizards or something, or like, what did I say earlier? White magic guys or something. There's like maybe like a off-world, like angel-y type thing going on, and maybe they got to George, or maybe they helped George. Or maybe none of it happened. Maybe everything that I just said is just something that I looked into too much. And yeah, I guess. But I don't think so, man. I just don't think so. I think it really said they know everything. I'm sorry, George Bush. That's my intuitive call on the moment, on the thing. And I'm sorry if it seems like I wasted your time, but I believe that the thoughts that I put into this were contributing towards making you think about something, whether it be now or later. But I believe the level of annoying that I've displayed will help settle these kind of ways of thinking and approaching if you spent time here with me doing this. I definitely thank you. Not for me, but just for us. Just going for it at this point. I don't even think it's that important to be sharp. I think what's going to happen is going to happen. I think everyone knows. I think everybody knows what time it is. In fact, there's something in the Bible that these controlling powers know about. This is all for entertainment and but there's like a day. If you look in the Bible, it talks about a day that happens. I think that's for instance, if you look in the Vatican, they have this sundial, and what is it? The shortest or the longest day? Me, big boy, he's special, man. You want that turkey so bad, boy. He's a turkey man. You little turkey boy. But yeah, the Vatican's like. And so what I'm saying is like, I don't know how important it is to be getting caught up on all these details. I'm really breaking stuff down, but I did want to break. You silly boy. But I did want to break down that video because it came up, and that's the amazing thing that happened. I've never seen anyone publicly do that. So more power to him. I'm just surprised he didn't say anything, because it's not like this information is. It's really not that hard to put together if you pay attention, man. But I know, but trust me, I know how crazy I sound, acting like I know something. I'm trying to show you something, but I don't want to. Damn, dude, you're eating my bread too, bro. You're cracking out, bro. What you doing, you little crazy boy? I'm going crazy. Going crazy. Go crazy. 111? No, that's 112. All right, we'll end it on 113. So what I'm saying, go get it, Harry. Go get it. So what I'm saying is, whatever's going on here, the spiritual battle, I'd say I'll go off on some disclosure stuff. Hey, quote John Reagan or whatever his name was, or Nixon. I don't care what his name was. He's in the 80s. The guy that said the disclosure stuff. He said, "Hey, I think we need an international event. Go, kitty, go. I think we need an international event that would unite us all, and like we need an alien invasion that would unite us all." And I guess you could say there's certainly some global coordination going on, and hey, let's get biblical on it. Let's go Revelations. Go, kitty, go. Oh, he loves it. He loves it when I get on this. I mean, he does this every time. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy man. I'm scared of him, dude. I'm scared. You don't know play for me. 1820. 2018. 2018, 19. What does that say? What was I just saying? Hey, you got me distracted, buddy. Revelations. I gotta make me look this up right now. I was talking about disclosure, but I don't remember what I was saying. I'll just look at my Revelation 20. You need a big boy. Oh yeah, we're talking about the ages. So which age are we in? And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are the four quarters of the earth, Gog, Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as sand of the sea. So my question is what time do you think we're in the cycle? You're crazy, dude. You're being extra for that one, buddy. This is mine. My food. First is the time after the millennium where Satan is released and leads a final rebellion against God. You think we're in that time? So y'all think, according to this, I guess it's going to get worse. They know everything. I'm sorry. Now, again, it could just be made up, I guess. Right? George Bush, it was just a funeral. It's just a funeral. That's all it was. Just a funeral. Nothing happened there. It's just completely normal. It was just people getting an envelope. Probably said, come to the fucking baby shower next week. But yeah. Yeah, the longest day. I think that's mentioned. We don't know when that's going to happen. No one does. But that's what the Vatican's got. I mean, yeah, they got the sundial to tell what time it is, but they got a relatively unique. Well, I think they have the biggest sundial over there, but they're waiting on that shortest day. Boy, I know them boys are waiting. Their days are numbered. Or is it the opposite? People think like, oh, the second coming of Christ is like it's totally about to happen. But then has anyone read Revelations? Like, realize what time we're in? I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm just saying, like, Satan hasn't even got his body according to the book. Isn't that crazy? I'll give you some. I got you, buddy. Yeah, you ready to go run? Go get it. My favorite right there. That's my favorite boy. I see my eyes watering. I know. So much. I truly enjoyed throwing that piece of turkey for him. I'm just so happy that he's. Your boy. You ready to go get the run? Go get it. Go get it. Hey, yeah. I love seeing him. He's healthy, man. He's healthy. He's healthy. Big boy. Yeah, we just got that surgery done. Shut up, my dudes. That's about all I can give y'all. That's all I should do for now. Because if you line too many pieces up, But yeah, we got a few pieces. Alright, well, I didn't end this stream at the right time. Or any of the numbers that I wanted. Not that they mattered. I think that's my point. But alright. Later.